Hey everyone, in this video I'm going to show you how to use Google Sheets to make a simple bar graph comparing two groups and how to make custom error bars so you'll get something that looks like this. And if you want to stick around, I'll show you how to do it using Microsoft Excel as well. So say here's your data, very generic. Group A got an average of 30, Group B got an average of 20. These are their respective standard errors that were separately calculated. And so first, let's go ahead and select the data that we want to convert into a graph. We won't include this, of course. That's what we'll add later. You can either head over to the insert chart icon over there or find it through this. And Google Sheets will default to what it thinks is the correct type. It got it correct in this case, but you can always go here to chart type to change what type of graph you think it should be. I'm gonna get rid of the title, because if you were putting this in a report, you'd put the title at the bottom as a caption. Now that customization sidebar just vanished as I was doing that, but if you click these three dots over here, you can easily bring it up again by clicking edit the chart. And what we want to do now is go to customize, series, and this is where we can add error bars. So we select that. By default, it's set to a 10% value of each of these, which is not what we want. We want group A to show a 4.9 error and B to show a 3.5, well, plus minus 3.5 error. So we're going to click this and go to constant. And this is where we can put our value in. So 4.9. And you see what the problem is. There is no way of me customizing it and putting a different value for B. You might say, but hang on, can't you go up here and change what series you're referring to? Oh, no, you can't. Perhaps Google Sheets will change this in the future, but for now, it's a little bit annoying. But you'll be pleased to know that I found two ways to work around this. It's not super ideal, but it does work. Go over here to Setup. And if you scroll all the way down and select Switch Rows Columns, you get a different looking graph that's like this. It is essentially the same thing. The one thing that disappears, however, are these labels. So you'll notice before you had group A and B labeled down there. When you switch rows and columns, for some reason that disappears. But what it does give you, when you go back to customize, you can choose which series you want it to apply to. So I can go to A now and say, oh, that's 4.9, that's already been set. And then I'm gonna go to B, error bars, constant, 3.5. And that's how you do it using Google Sheets. It is a weird workaround. I mean, selecting switch rows and columns, like what's the deal with that? Well, essentially, you're converting this table into this table. Now, some of you by default might have done that. And indeed, you'll see that when you select this data and turn it into a chart, it automatically creates that, so you don't have to select that switch rows column, you can go instantly to customizing it. The only problem with this is that this is not the conventional way that you should set tables out. According to convention, the independent variable should be this first column, and then your data sort of goes in like adjacent columns. Not this way. But I mean, if you do want to set it out this way so you can more easily make the graph, I guess it's okay. But if you're including it in a science report, don't use this format for a table, please. Do it this way, the normal conventional way. Over to Microsoft Excel. Excel is cleverer than Sheets, but with that comes a bit more complexity. So insert, and I can choose the column chart that I want. Let's see what happens when I go recommended charts. It recommends that. Yeah, that's pretty good. Let's get rid of this title again. It doesn't automatically label the X and Y, but that's not a big deal. So similar to before, instead of the three dots, I'm going to select this plus sign, and then we're going to add error bar. I think by default, who knows what that is. Looks like a plus minus 5 or something. But we're going to select this little triangle, and we're going to go to more options. You might be tempted to just go, oh, hey, let's just like put standard error in right away. But it's not clever enough to like sort of read that. It actually tries to like calculate it itself. If you were selecting a lot of data appropriately, it would calculate it that way, but not in our scenario. So let's go to more options. And just like before, we're going to change the error amount, this time to custom, and then we're going to specify the value. And you're going to see something pop up like this. So instantly you can tell that Excel is actually clever enough, customizable enough, that you can give it a higher positive than negative like value, which sometimes we need to use. In this case, however, we want A, for example, to be plus 4.9 and negative 4.9. So we want the same numbers above and below. How are we going to indicate what A and B are? Well, this is how we're going to do it. We'll highlight this whole thing as it was before. We're actually going to select both of these two, 4.9, 3.5, which should automatically populate this box here. And we're going to tell Excel for the negative value that we want the exact same thing, because we want the same values above and below in the error bar. Hit OK, And there it is. You can see this error bar goes all the way up to 34.9 and down to 25.1. And this one goes up to 23.5 and down to 16.5. I will quickly mention that this will also apply if you set up your table in that incorrect way. Selecting these guys, inserting chart. Let's quickly swap the color so we can see it's different. Plus sign, error bars, more options. Oh, I should mention that if you can't see like where you're supposed to change the values at the bottom and you did select error bar options, you actually just need to select this icon over here. So custom, specify value, and just like before, we're gonna select the 2 standard errors, which go across this way this time. Same for the negative, those 2, hit OK, and you've got the exact same thing. The thing is, it's a little bit pointless me showing you that because you shouldn't even have set your table like this in the first place. I just wanted to show you that you could do it, but yeah. Go away, that's not how you do it. Okay, and that's how you make simple bar graphs with customizable error bars in both Excel and Google Sheets. And of course, if you wanted to add more than 2 conditions, you can do the same thing, customizable error bars with all of them. Hope this helps, and I'll see you next time.